Hello, people of the world watching internet videos that have to do with cars. Welcome to this. My 1983 Datsun 280ZX, which may be soon going home with one of you. I'll have more about that later on in the video. Where I last left off in the previous video, I was in the process of giving this car a tune-up. The fuel that is in this tank has probably been in the car for getting close to a year now. I bought the car and it just sat until I started making videos with it, so might not be able to do this like I wanted to. Has a thing there to prevent you from siphoning. That's fairly large volume. That's kind of small volume. Now you could make a good argument that it would be smarter to just allow the fuel pump to drain the fuel tank into a container. However, I think this is the smartest way.
The funny thing about that word smart is it's a relative term.
That stinks so bad. That is old gas. As long as I keep this lower than the fuel tank, it should just siphon all the way out. Now you see the bottom of the tank is right here, so I'm just holding the hose barely lower, and it's just gonna siphon all the way out. There's quite a bit of gas in there. It's pretty dark actually too. But it's been about 10 minutes and this thing's almost full. I don't have another jug. That's gotta be almost dry. It has to be. That is a full container of fuel right there. Hose back on. I got some fresh gasoline. Whoever invented this safety standard for fuel caps should be fired because they're absolute garbage. Put 5 gallons of fresh 91 in here. This thing is literally tight and it leaks that much. So 2 things to take into consideration. The rear portion of the exhaust has a huge hole in it, so it doesn't sound very good. And secondly, I don't want to make the engine and exhaust system super hot when I have to work on it immediately after. So it's going to be a bit of a compromise, but at least it'll give a baseline. Now it stinks in here. Told you it was a compromise.
Had the factory exhaust been leak-free, I would have put a little bit more effort in collecting a good baseline sample, but I think that's enough to give you an idea before I upgrade it.
This, I believe, is the original exhaust from when this car was new. And it sounds, as you just saw, terrible. This might have something to do with it. Some crusty holes right here in the elbow. That's an ignorant design. Oh. That's not a captured nut. I thought that was welded. I will concede that I was the stupid design in that scenario.
Being that I'm fairly certain this is the actual original exhaust that came on this car when it was new 42 years ago.
That's not gonna come apart easy.
I'm kind of amazed that it's in as good of shape as it is with only 1 leak, and the fact that the hardware, even though it's covered in surface rust, is turning nice and easy.
I'm amazed. That actually came off and it didn't break. That doesn't have nearly the meat and potatoes I needed. It didn't snap. I thought for sure this stuff was just gonna snap. I mean, it's got surface rust on it, but this car didn't live in a rusty area.
Well, yes, I kept the factory wheels and springs that were removed off of this car as they were still serviceable. That would be hoarderish of me to keep this factory exhaust that is crusty and full of holes. It is going in the scrap where it belongs.
The law of shapes would dictate that this all went in one piece, therefore it should all come out in one piece. No, I don't think it all went in one piece because the crimps at the muffler and this little section right there. I wonder if I can just bend it because it's so rotted in that center section. I can just bend it.
Just like trying to bend the square peg into the circle hole.
All right, Sawzall time. Probably like right about here. Wow, that was so thin.
Really, really thin.
There you go. There. Yeah, it was so thin and corroded, it made it easy. Hopefully this next part is a lot easier. It's not going to be. Okay, in my head I was thinking I could easily get to the hardware on the top, but because it's not a cross-flow head, it's a snazzy nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. Yeah, I gotta do this from the bottom. I just gotta basically stand here and do the splits the whole time.
I would imagine watching me work under this car is like watching a giraffe give birth. Probably not that, but...
All right. That was way easier than I thought it would be. I gotta try to do this the least painful way possible. Just FYI, I have no tech data for this car, nor have I ever worked on one of these prior to this car right here. So therefore, I'm just gonna do it all off of mechanical knowledge, common sense. This is the crankcase breather. That should be removed. Take off that vacuum hose. I gotta label these. Take off the injector harness. Now for the AFM. Now the fuel rail. Maybe if I undo the fuel rail from over here, it'll lessen the ass pain. Not really. Sweet. Oh, that stinks. Oh, jeez. Come on. Holy shit. That just took an hour and 35 minutes. That probably hasn't been off in like half my life. It's a really good thing I did this because those injectors are disgusting. Last night, I did a lot of thinking about how much of a pain that job is and the fact that those are likely the original fuel injectors on this car. I made the command decision to spend the money and buy a set of remanufactured OEM injectors for this thing. Something tells me this little access door is in the way of hardware. Take this little guy off and let me see. Yep, there's a bolt.
This video isn't meant to be a tutorial, but
oh yeah, mint. Turned no problem.
You don't really need a tutorial to do this. It's not a difficult job mentally. It's just a lot of stuff to do.
So this heat shield by the pipe for the EGR.
The hardest part about any of this is just it's awkward to access hardware on an engine that is not a cross-flow head. It's a lot of stuff that you have to cram in one side of the engine bay.
Excellent. All right, I gotta do everything else from the top. Well, that would have sucked if I forgot this down there.
I say that until I got to the final 6 bolts under the exhaust manifold, which were an absolute nightmare and ended up taking most of the day to do.
Took 7 hours. A 30th of a turn at a time to do this. Fucking stupid. Oh, I got the EGR pipe still. Are you serious? Come on. There's a coolant hose. That's got to be one of the top 10 most irritating jobs I've done on a car yet. This tops anything that I had on the Audi TT. Including the time I spent yesterday and the hours from today, it took about 9 hours to pull that off. Because every bolt turn is like this on all of the underside bolts. It's the following day, and I have a task that I need to accomplish immediately before a spaceship fabricator arrives. And it involves a header. I told him it'd only take me a couple minutes to get this off and ready for him when he gets here, so. Oh, I think that's all holds it on. That's wild. Okay.
I kind of, what I do, I kind of want to have 2 hands. So actually, oh yeah, grenade on 125 nut.
Give me that, give me that, give me that, nut.
And shoot straight down, you know, so.
Straight shooter. And just like that, it's another day. I had to edit a video that you've already watched, and if you haven't, you should. But Forrest made some progress. The header I purchased for this car has been modified by the spaceship fabricator. It's getting the spring treatment like the Celica, and the flaky black paint that came on it has been sandblasted off, as well as the axle back portion has been welded up with his robot welds. Look at that, you can't even see it. And now it's a game of connect the dots. Whilst the spaceship fabricator is fabricating spaceship parts, this looks like a potential nightmare for leaks later, because that's supposed to be rubber. That's hard as a rock. It's like tree bark. I'm amazed this thing actually ran as good as it did. If I had an unlimited budget and unlimited time, I would definitely take all these gold zinc pieces off and get them re-zinced, but I don't have the capacity to do that in my shop by myself. That's like not even rubber anymore. It's like turning back into a rubber tree. That is super gross. I decided to go with rubber, just like from the factory, rather than silicone, just because that looks more period correct. All right, nice, fresh, new hose. That goes right there. These early fuel injection systems are just an array of random vacuum hoses and spaceships. Spaceship. What the hell? Oh, cut away from yourself. Surprisingly enough, it's actually hard finding rubber hose now. Everything is silicone that you look for. I really wish I could re-zinc stuff myself. This is very hot. Very hot. Okay. The muffler, which I ordered for this thing, it mounts in the factory location, but there's only one spot, and it's physically larger, albeit not any heavier, and that could cause it to sway. So this is where one of the heat shields go on the side of the muffler, and Forrest is devising a bracket that's going to mount the muffler back here to keep it from swaying around. Okay, we're through. I think now the smartest thing to do would be to take your bracket out. That way I can make the hole a little bit bigger.
Right.
This is not part of the exhaust, so therefore it is my responsibility to provide you a car that is ready for the exhaust. Oh, squeeze. Oh, look at that beautiful fresh zinc. Oh yeah, that one's really dry. All right, I was gonna make your ears a little bit fuzzy. Sorry in advance.
There's a delicate balance between a full restoration and cleaning up a survivor car, and that's what this is, a survivor car. So I'm trying to make it look the best it possibly can.
Huh? It kind of cleaned that stuff. It's not perfect, but it's better than it was. Even the little hose clamps look better. Oh, I should do that guy. This one's gonna be a treat.
Whilst I was cleaning up the intake manifold, Forrest was making serious progress on the exhaust and was actually getting it done faster than I thought it would be.
Oh yeah.
Looks actually really good, huh?
Yeah, that's really good. The header I bought for this car, if it were just to bolt on directly as is, it would have been like down to there. Yeah, so this is drastically better. Good. Because I don't know where this car is going to potentially end up, I am keeping a cat on here, so it will have a cat. So that will be the home of the new cat. Meanwhile, back in the land of hose, the only one I didn't change is this weird T-hose, which I don't have or else I would, but it doesn't look like it'd be very hard to change. It's right here on the side. Now, as far as this goes, since the exhaust manifold sits directly underneath the intake manifold, oh, it's nice and clean under there. I forgot my AC is blowing. So the following day, waiting for the spaceship fabricator to arrive. And before I get to work, just wanted you all to know, if you're new here, I am doing a giveaway on this car. There is no purchase necessary to enter or win. The full rules that are disclosed on my website, sarentuned.com, where you can also subsequently go to purchase RoboBubble detailing products or merchandise. Every $1 you spend will gain an entry to win either that car or a cash-only prize option in case you don't want the car. With that said, oh, you're just gonna tack that, and then that's the last thing right there, right?
Yeah.
So yesterday I pulled off the heat shield that goes under the intake manifold and cleaned it up. I cheated a little bit on the bottom side. You actually won't see any of this. It's hidden by the intake manifold. You'll just see kind of the sides right here. But this side, I took a small mortgage out and purchased a roll of that reflective gold heat foil stuff. I would have bought a giant sheet, but that sheet's expensive. This is probably not gonna look super pretty. I'll try my best, but again, no one will see this. It's gonna be completely hidden and upside down. I'm trying not to let it get super wrinkled, but this is not easy.
Did the spaceship fabricator account for shapes that must do shape things? We will find out soon.
It looks good from like 5 feet away. It'll get the job done. No one can see this when it's installed in the car. So it's there to serve a purpose, and I think it will do that purpose pretty well. So this is it. Before we put the exhaust in for one last time, it's pretty close to the underside of the car since it's larger diameter piping than the pea shooter that was on there. Luckily, I have some of this adhesive heat foil. It's like insulation backed. Whew, that stuff stinks. That's what I should have cleaned the whole underside of the car with. Oh yeah, it's really sticky. That's pretty good.
Spaceship fabricated muffler bracket installed.
Final install of the finished product. Oh yeah, heat shield's in the perfect spot.
It is.
Look at that.
Is that cool?
Yeah, that looks so good. So there you go. That is the finished product of the Spaceship Fabricators stainless steel 3-inch header back exhaust. A classic vertical stack style muffler. This was something that was very popular back in the day on these cars. V-band clamps, a high flow cat built in, a little flexi guy, another V-band, and then it transitions into that header, which he changed up just a little bit out of the spring clamp style like I have in the Celica. It's tucked up a lot higher than the header came straight out of the box. It's really hard to do with a long tube to get it that high. Forrest already did this, but I don't want to forget and start it up and put fingerprints on it. But as for my other project, intake manifold project is now complete. I got rid of all the super brittle dry hoses that were on here, and the heat shield that goes between the header and the intake manifold is now completely coated in gold reflective heat tape. I thought about painting the intake manifold, but I chose against doing that because it's not the right thing to do. Last thing I want to do is put something on here that's just going to come off with chemicals and solvents and fluids. I'd rather keep it raw, and this is still cleanable and get even cleaner with dry ice. Now for those of you that clicked on this video and you just want to hear the car run, what do you think, this is fucking TikTok? I'm not going to give you an instant dopamine hit. Real work takes time. So if you notice, the area under the thermostat housing is all wet, been leaking for who knows how many years, and that caused that stud to get all corroded and was missing when I bought the car, and there was a huge exhaust leak there. So I have to remove a broken stud from the cylinder head before it can all go back together. That's why it's not happening in this video. And with that said, I will see you soon with the next video. Bye.